All right. My name is Heidi Sobel, and I'm the Senior Paintings Conservator here at the Royal Ontario Museum. I've been working here for 12 years. Prior to that, I've worked in a variety of conservation facilities throughout North America. And coming to conservation wasn't necessarily a straightforward thing because you need a lot of different types of educational experiences and opportunities to obtain that level of accreditation and qualification for the field. So I had started with a Bachelor of Fine Arts in studio painting and art history, migrated over to chemistry and organic chemistry, did that for a couple of years, and then a graduate degree in art conservation. So if you added all that up together, it's about 8 years of school, and a few of those summers I actually went to school through them to pick up those credits and work towards that master's degree requirements. So it wasn't necessarily easy, but the fascinating part about conservation is it's the combination of art and science, and that is a very unique way of looking at what we do with collections and cultural artifacts, that you need both. So if you have that kind of interest, might be just the career for you.
Excellent. It doesn't seem like a natural marriage.
No.
Chemistry and fine art.
No, it wasn't. It was a huge change to go from an art school that had no grades because they didn't like that kind of structure. Very difficult school. I mean, it was a lot of work, and then go right into the rigors of chemistry and organic chemistry. But what a great thing for the human mind to activate that left hemisphere, that right hemisphere, and then that, communicating. So in the run of a day, when you deal with a conservation treatment, you're often having to look at things very objectively, but then you have to have the subjective element as well, the artistic or the aesthetic touch.
Right. And how does that work with your relationships with curators or even exhibit designers? How does that connection happen?
The role of conservator, I think, is starting to really change, and I'm hoping that it'll happen more and more through my career. And we have to kind of use our expertise and how we look at artifacts to embellish or enhance the role of the curator, or what they can do in their jobs, as well as everyone who works with collections, from the designers to the technicians and preparators. And what I think we can contribute is a materials or technology or condition that we can help feed into the dialogue, and that can actually help the curator understand, why is the painting behaving this way? Was it, is the artist, crazy brushwork and things like that? We see it far more clinically. No, there is a reason for it. Maybe it has to do with an inherent vice or something within the paint structure, and that can enlighten the curator. So that's more of a dialogue we have.
Okay, that's interesting. Do you find that your right hemisphere struggles with your left hemisphere when you're working on a treatment or a proposal?
Yes, it does, and I want to always come back to my core method of working, and that is to be cautious. I find if I go too quickly or too hasty, or I make some suppositions about what I'm seeing or interpreting, I can make a mistake. It's very important I tap the brakes and say, okay, let's step back from this. Let's research it. Let's think about what the artist would have done, what their peers may have done, so maybe they were in that genre. That will help in my understanding of the work. But then also interpret what I'm seeing scientifically, through testing. Is that going to help me understand what the problem is and how I can solve it?
Really interesting. Your mind must stay very nimble.
Yeah.
So in terms of the collections that you're responsible for, I see you've got a painting of a Canadian's first peoples?
Yes, so yes, from our Indigenous collection.
So this is ethnology?
It's the ethnology department. And oftentimes in a collection as vast as the ROM's, but you can really say that about many museums, is where does the painting really call its home? I'm more interested, of course, in the materials and techniques, but I have to be respectful of where exactly does this painting land or fit. And sometimes there's a bit of a blurred line, so technically this could be seen as Canadiana, but no, I think it has more to do with Indigenous heritage.
In terms of the structure of the painting itself, Canadian paintings are similar to European paintings.
Yes.
What about, are there any differences, say, as we go farther east or deeper into the Middle East.
100%. So we have to be very mindful of the origins of the painting, but know that there was, through this 17th, 18th century, we have a lot of trade. So there will be a lot of materials that may migrate from one country to another, one hemisphere to another. So we can't take it for granted that, well, if this is from New Zealand, it has to be this type of paint, because not necessarily. It may have traded with other countries. So we really want to interest in scientifically looking at it and then making those assumptions.
Wow, that's really. Every time I talk to you, Heidi, I get a new perspective on things. You actually managed to make the science sort of palatable and understandable to the layperson.
Right.
So thank you for that. Thank you very much, Heidi, for
You're
taking the
welcome.
time today.
Thank you.